Hi, I'm Wendy Gale. Welcome to Dementia's Blurred Lines. Most people hear a finished episode where I sit down, hit record, and talk straight through. But my life doesn't work like that. Some caregivers know what I mean. These episodes are made in pieces, in small, unpredictable spaces that caregiving leaves open. It's not just the interruptions themselves. It's the emotional weight of what happens before I ever sit down and hit record. Like this week, when I tried to get my mom to take a shower, for some families, this is a simple request. For us, it becomes something else entirely. She looked at me and said, "I have to take a shower now," as if I'd asked her to do something unreasonable. Then came her usual line, "I shower once a week," which is gross. A rule she clings to even though her needs have changed. And when I gently corrected her, she told me I was the one arguing. There's a particular kind of sting in moments like that, not because the task itself, but because of the history underneath it. Most people care for parents who once cared for them. There's a softness in that. A history of love that cushions the hard moments. I don't have that. My caregiving comes from a different place, one built on responsibility, not mutual care. And that changes the emotional weight of everything. I had the heater on, the shower going, her rub and slippers ready. I reminded her to grab a towel from her room, something she insists on keeping in her room. I don't understand it, but that's okay. She started to get undressed, and for a moment I thought it might go smoothly. But when I gently reminded her to wash her hair, she snapped. "My hair isn't dirty." I handed her a mirror, turned her around, and had her look. I said, "Mom, look at the back of your head." She looked and said, "It's not greasy." That was the moment I walked out of the bathroom and shut the door. Not out of frustration, out of self-preservation. Because there's no winning a battle built on a foundation that was never solid to begin with. And then, this is the part people don't see. While I was working on this very episode, she walked in again. No knock, no pause, just, "I'm ready to go to bed, can you turn my TV off?" And I did, because that's what caregiving looks like in this house. And it's really not the big emergencies, it's the small, relentless interruptions that stack on top of each other until you don't realize how tired you are. It's the constant shifting of gears, the emotional whiplash of trying to be present for yourself in a life that keeps pulling you away from yourself. And then when the house finally gets quiet, maybe for 5 minutes, maybe for 20, that's when I sit down to record. That's when I try to shift from caregiver to storyteller. From a daughter who navigates these small, complicated moments to a woman who's trying to speak honestly about her life. And when I look at the way these episodes come together, I realize they're not just recordings. They're little markers of survival. Proof that even a full life of interruptions and old wounds and responsibilities I never asked for, there are still moments where my voice finds its way through. I used to think I had to wait for the perfect conditions to create anything. The quiet house, the clear mind, the uninterrupted hour. But that's not my life. My life is made up of fragments. And maybe that's why this podcast feels so honest and therapeutic for me. It's built the same way my days are built, in pieces, in pauses, in the spaces where I'm trying to remember who I am outside of caregiving. If you're still with me, I just want to thank you. These aren't easy moments to talk about, but they're real. And I know there are people out there living their own version of this life. People who are trying to hold on to themselves while caring for someone who doesn't always see them or understand them or even know who they used to be. I'm not sharing this to complain. I'm sharing it because I don't want anyone walking this path to feel invisible. You're carrying more than most people will ever understand, and you're doing it in the quiet corners of your day, just like I am. If this episode made you feel even a little less alone, I'm glad you're here. If you're walking a similar path, you're not alone. Take care of yourself, and I'll talk to you soon.